This particular amendment has to deal with those issues that relate to transparency and accountability. I can understand why there are those people who are very passionate about wanting to keep this particular funding within the budget, and I understand how we arrived at that. However, I also understand that when we start to ask for greater accountability, it can't be just done in a report that not only talks about the wonderful positive things that they do with that state money that we give them, but also talks about how they've improved their efficiencies, how they may have actually learned from other places, entities, and even the private sector, and how to become not only more efficient, perhaps more effective. If you look to other states, there are those states that offer subsidies to their one zoo, and oftentimes you will find that their entrance fees are lower, that their executive director may not be paid as much, that they might not have a lobbying firm or a public relations firm that they hire, but there's opportunity to learn. And so all this particular amendment does is ask for the opportunity to have in the standard report that's given and issued by Zoo New England, it directs the corporation to provide the House of Representatives and also the Senate with a comprehensive plan that indicates how they would actually deal with phased withdrawal of public financing, and to give a date for that, folks. I think we owe it when we make these tough decisions, not only to one another, but I don't want to be here in another 10 years and be talking about the same thing. I was here in 2003, and we're talking now today in 2009 of a similar issue. And this does not at all diminish the work that has been done by that corporation to try to enhance its ability to draw educational populations, cultural populations, tourist populations. But this is also about how do we deal with the equity issue, and how do we give taxpayers the ability to weigh in to say, if you really want to publicly finance a zoo, then you'll do that. You'll vote with your feet. You'll also pay with your pocketbook or your wallet to go visit a zoo. And we know that is the case because we have many successful private zoos across the state. So I believe that the Chairman of Ways and Means is sincere about wanting increased accountability, and I think we all want that. So all this is asking for, if the corporation comes back and says for full fiscal independence, we're working at being able to incorporate a name change and maybe sell it for a few $1 million to be more self-sufficient on a yearly basis. Maybe we're looking to actually learn from other zoos how things are being done. Maybe we'll get rid of certain aspects that we expend money for here that nobody else seems to have a need in any other private zoo, whatever it will be. Share that information with the great and general court, but more importantly with the taxpayers who are asking us to look over their money and to try to use it in as fiscally responsible a capacity. So all this is asking for is a report by October 31st to be issued to both the House and the Senate that'll actually detail a plan. Now, I don't know what that plan's going to look like. It may show dependence for the next 10 years. It may show a weaning process, but we've been all asked to just trust the entity. And I think one of the big things I've learned in my time up here, and especially this past year and a half, through quasi-public authorities and everybody else who wants you to trust in them, I think that trust has to come with a certain measure of accountability. So this just modifies a section of general law that already has them reporting about the wonderful things the zoo does in terms of attendance and all of that, but it will actually give our House and Senate a more comprehensive plan on showing us and detailing us how will they arrive at fiscal independence. Because at the end of the day, if it can't be done, we all owe one another an explanation, and our taxpayers the explanation of why. Why can it not be done for them, but it can be done for countless other zoos that are successful in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that get this, zero. That's all this does. So for those of you who I can understand, the vote on reduction or elimination is very difficult. I respect that. But I think a vote on accountability and submission of a plan, whatever that will be, on behalf of the corporation, I think is a reasonable amendment to submit, and I ask for your support. And when I ask for it a call of the roll call of the ayes and nays. Thank you.